What's up guys, Nick here, and today we're replacing the idle air control valve of my 95 truck. Let's get into it. We got a brand new AutoZone limited idle air control valve for my truck. Crack it open, it's all new and shiny. See, that's what it looks like. It's pretty simple. It comes with the O-ring, so I don't have to worry about doing all that. A little bit of thread sealer. So let's get into installing it. Alright, so the first thing is taking off this air box lid. Take off the whole air box. And now we come to the side here. Right here is our idle air control valve. Disconnect our wiring harness.
And next up, you're going to want to grab something that can actually loosen the idle air control valve. I would personally recommend a crescent wrench, so that way it doesn't round it off.
Alright, so out with the old broken one, and in with the brand new AutoZone one.
So to make it easier to actually get to the idle air control valve, we're going to be removing this EGR thing. It actually makes the vacuum for the engine. It's just kind of in the way, so it's a pain to thread it in, so we're just going to take it off real quick. And then we can tighten up the idle air control valve and put the EGR back on.
We're going to be changing this idle air control wire. So, you all know how this works based on my last video. You slide the wire in all the way until you can't anymore. Squeeze the living heck out of it. Then you want to give it a nice little tug to make sure that it's snug. Then we'll do that for all 4 of these. Pull out the old one. You can see it's, oh god, yeah. Wow, look at that. And now we're going to want to plug in the new one. Slide it until it clicks. Make sure it's snug. Now with our old valve, we come in here. Start cutting wires. Just gonna do the old slice. Let's get this wiring harness out a little bit better so that way we can actually see what we're doing. These are the wires that we'll be splicing. Now, the 2 green ones are the ones that are closest to the cab. I frayed this one a little bit, so I'm just gonna cut off the very end. You wanna have all your wires there so you don't cause a short. So I'm gonna come in here and twist them just so I can have a better secure connection. So now we grab one of these wires. This is the one that these green ones are going to crimp to. Now, grab our crimping tool. We come in here, make sure everything's secured. Squeeze. Again, little tug, make sure it's snug. Squeeze it. Now that those green ones are connected, we move on to the blue one. Squeeze it down. So those are crimped. Give them nice little tugs, make sure they're all snug in there. Got a good crimp. And before we heat string it down, I'm gonna go start my truck just to see how things run. So let's do that. So now we're just gonna let the engine get nice and hot so that way we can come back and really adjust the idle. Alright, so now we're gonna jump out these 2 OBD1 ports, so that way I can get the idle air control valve reset, then go in there and really adjust my idle. So with that jumped out, all we gotta do is turn the key to on. The check engine light should start flashing. Check engine light's flashing, so now what's happening is that IAC is getting reset to the home position. You only need to do this for about 30 seconds to a minute. So now with that all reset, we come here, unplug our IAC, then we can go and start the vehicle. So with a Torx T20 screw, we go to the front and adjust the idle screw. So after turning it, we're now at 1600, so we gotta go more. What are we down to?
Yeah, now it's dropping crazy.
We're down to 1,000 now. That sounds pretty good. Now we're adjusted. We're sitting at about 1,000. Now I'm gonna put it in gear just to make sure that it doesn't stall when you put it in gear. So now you might have noticed I plugged in my IAC even while I was adjusting the idle. That is because for some reason mine was really high, but after I checked my check engine light because it was on, I got code 35, which is either the bad idle air control valve, which it shouldn't be bad, it's brand new, or a vacuum leak. And after reading into it, because of my super high idle, I believe it is a vacuum leak somewhere. So all the steps I showed were technically correct, but the idle is supposed to be correct as you turn the screw without having to plug the valve back in. I just wanted to clarify that because my idle still isn't quite right because of that leak, but I just wanted to point that out. So yours, assuming that there is no vacuum leaks and everything is perfectly fine, you should be able to get the idle exactly where you want it with that screw, and then you should be able to plug the valve in and have no problems. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you all for watching the video. I will see you guys next time. Make sure to like and subscribe if you are new. Follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter. They're both in the description below. I will see you guys next time. Peace out.